Hi, you guys. Hopefully, you can hear me. Um, I just wanted to come live since I had a chance and talk about this whole Khia and TS Madison. And now Michelle is all into it, and Nene. I don't really feel like Nene feels as if she's involved in it. However, she did invite TS Madison to her podcast, and so I was listening to Michelle's live, and her audience, of course, people love to stir the pot. Of course, was like, "Well, I thought that was your friend, Michelle. Why would she invite T.S. Madison?" And so I'm like, "Well, are they really friends like that? Just because you know people don't mean that that's your friend, and that they feel the need to protect your feelings about every little thing." I mean, I don't. And Michelle even said, "I don't really care." She said that she's interviewed people who said things about Nene, and of course, the child's mother, one of her sons. I remember Michelle had a whole thing going about that as well. So, and other stuff just over the years, right? Look how long Real Housewives has been on. Michelle have covered that show for a really long time, and she, of course, covered everything that was said about Nene. So I agree with her. Like, it is what it is. Like, that's business. Um, but it was just something that felt uncomfortable for me about the interview. So I just wanted to kind of talk about that too. Some of the stuff that T.S. Madison was talking about. But all of this started over a Pride event which I guess Pride is different months in different cities. I don't know. Um, for the Black community, because I know the official Pride Month is June, right? Which is now. Um, and so she was doing this event in DC, and she stopped in the middle of the performance to say that T.S. Madison had reached out, I guess, to the promoter and asked the promoter not to work with her, right? And she felt like T.S. Madison is doing that a lot in the LGBT community. Um, and so she said, she brought it up at the show. And to my understanding, from what because Michelle is also playing Kaya's reply or response, I should say, to T.S. Madison, because T.S. Madison went on a 30-minute, 45-minute rant after Kaya made her statement on stage. And so, T.S. Madison went live saying that she didn't do it. However, if this promoter or these people are saying that she said this, why would they just say that, right? And so you have to wonder about that. Me, I'm always that person that believe the truth is somewhere in the middle. If they both could be saying things that they cannot back up, you know, um, I don't know if this promoter would actually come out and say that, yeah, I went to Kaya and I told her, because this is what T.S. Madison said. And T.S. Madison said that she has a relationship with these people. So I tend to believe that she may have, um, quote unquote, got on them from working with Kaya, because she's said that before. Like, if people are saying things about the trans community or the LGBT community, people should not work with them. However, I've said this before, tend to think that people throw, just like they throw the racist card out, they tend to use this homophobic thing about everything, right? And y'all can sit there, especially T.S. Madison. She has so much nerve, child. It's just like, girl, you sit here and call people everything but the child of God, okay? Uh, all day long. That's how you were. I don't know how you making your money now, but at one time when you were a YouTuber, that is how you made your money. And you called everybody everything but a child of God. And so for you to think that that's not anti something, but can't nobody say nothing about your community, is like, it's some nonsense. And then even gay people say this as well. It's like, come on now, you can't sit there and be so combative and aggressive towards women constantly, and then if somebody's saying one thing, they got to be plastered on the wall of the anti LGBT community, or the homophobic. They got to be put on the homophobic wall. It's like, you got to stop that. You got to stop that, because my whole thing, listening to her go on that 30-minute rant when she was going off about Khia saying what Khia said on stage, it's just like, you talk way too much stuff about people to try to tell somebody else that they can. And like somebody else was saying in their commentary, y'all the same, y'all really and truly the same doggone person. Her and Kaya, y'all the same person. Y'all just two different bodies. Like, if we just being for real, you do the same stuff that she do. You talk about these guys like you talk about people like a dog, like I stated before. And even with her in her interview with Nene, Nene kind of called her to the carpet about her saying something about her. I guess when people were talking about, people are using these filters, right, on their phone, and it will sometimes alter their looks. And I think that's what happened. Nene was, either she went live with a filter on, or she took some pictures and added a filter, but it made her look like maybe she had possibly had some work done. And so everybody just ran with the story, like, oh my God, she got another nose job, and whatever the conversation was, it was probably the most recent one. And so Michelle stirring the pot brown. Michelle, who loves to stir the pot brown, she actually played the clip, I guess, from what is it? What's the name of TS Madison's podcast over the top? I think she got a couple of them, but um, Michelle played the clip of her actually talking about Nene, where she was saying that she looked tranny, or whatever however she was explaining it. And in other words, when you listening to her, and I believe the guy's name is Greg, when you listening to them talk, you hear them saying that she looked, pretty much they're saying that she looked like a man, right? Because she's getting so much work done and look like she is getting this work done because she's trying to look a certain way. And so, and you can hear them going back and forth and stuff that they're saying. And that's pretty much what they were saying. But it's clear that Nene did not hear it. Somebody must have went back and told Nene what was said, which is always the thing when people come with this third hand, with this third hand information, is never what was actually said. So she don't really know what they were saying. You could tell by the way she was sitting there looking at her, because Nene is a voice herself. Like, she would have really checked her if she would have really, 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 really known what she was saying, because she was trying to. T.S. Madison was trying to play it off like, oh, I didn't, like, oh, we wasn't saying that the bad girl. We were saying you was giving, you was giving hair and shoes or something she was saying. And I was like, after I heard Michelle's clip, I was like, yeah, that's not what she said. She was pretty much saying that she, looked like she transformed. And so Nene was like, yeah, girl, put me up on game. It was funny. Put me up on game. What's the new saying, girl? Tranny. And like, and nobody out here saying that. I have never heard nobody say that. Okay. So yeah, it's gonna be funny when she realized, or when she find out that that's not a true statement. Even though T.S. Madison was saying that she's gonna invite Nene to her show, because she's saying that she has some new show coming. And so the other thing that I wanted to say, I know I wanted to talk about a bunch of stuff in this video, but the other thing that I wanted to say was how she always tried to downplay Kaya and Kaya's help to her brand, because you can't say the Kaya didn't help you. A lot of people didn't know you, even though you were saying that you were known. Obviously, you were known in your own community. However, you were not a household name to mainstream America. I'll just call it that, for a lack of better description. But you were not a household name like that. Like, I knew who she was because she was on Candy's Candy Coated. I talked about this before. She was on Candy Coated Night nights a long time ago, like when Candy first started, right? Candy Coated Nights, and I don't even think she was on. Was she even on? She might have been on Real Housewives. I don't know if she was on Real Housewives of Atlanta yet or not. It was so long ago. That's how long ago it was. And she was still doing, I guess, the porn stuff because she was on there as the big, what. And that was another thing. That was so vulgar and crass, like the language for somebody that's trying to run a podcast, and for her to be on YouTube herself, she know what the rules are. You know what I'm saying? For you to use all that language and all that cursing and stuff on Nene's pod. Nene was calm. She was just sitting there, but she was like Michelle was saying, stir the pot. Michelle Brown was saying she's gonna mess up her money. She's not gonna be able to monetize that video because it was just so vulgar. And I almost feel like she was doing that intentionally, because she kind of probably was feeling some of the energy that Nene was giving, because Nene did not appreciate being called a man, right? Or saying that she was, a man transforming, whatever, however they were saying it. And so she may have been doing it, the cursing and the language intentionally, because like I said, she's on YouTube herself, so she know how these people act on the back end. So yeah, but let me know what y'all think about all of that. Do you think she was doing the cursing and the vulgar language and talking about her, her pole and all that stuff intentionally? Let me know in the comments, because that's kind of what I started to feel after she kept doing it. It's one thing for you to slip up and say one or two things, but I mean, that whole interview was just off the chain to me. That's how I was listening to it. But you guys let me know in the comments what you thought about it. And so yeah, the interview went from that, and then she started asking Nene about dating, and then she started saying this whole thing about and I think a lot of, like people were saying, a lot of them think that they think all men are gay at the end of the day, or they're all um they have the potential to become attractive to them. That's, I'll say it nicely. And so Nene was like, nah, I don't think I would want to date, a guy that would want to date both of us. Right. And she was saying that nicely. Right. And so TS Madison was like, well, you probably already have dated somebody. And then, mind you, um, Nene was married for a very long time, 20 some years. So she wasn't even out there like that anyway. You know what I'm saying? For you to be putting that out there like that, like, oh, you probably already been somebody and you just didn't know it. I think the key words is that she didn't know. None of us know what people doing, but to say that she should be open to that simply because you feel like she already have done it, or however it was just weird. The whole conversation, to me, it's like people want you to accept them, but they don't want to accept um you the way you are, right? And the stuff that you're into. Like, if she's not into that, she's not into that. You can't make somebody feel like something is they want to do something that they don't want to do. And she clearly was telling her that she wouldn't be interested in that. Let me know how y'all felt about that. And then Michelle, like I said, the whole thing, people in Michelle's conversation, because she was live with her audience, and they were like, saying that they felt a kind of way because Nene had TS Madison over there. And I don't know, they were just kind of making it seem like maybe it wasn't a good idea for Nene to have her there. I don't think it was a good idea for her to have her there because of the language. I feel like, and that was the other thing I wanted to say too. Now that it's coming to me, Nene needs to control her interviews. I don't, this is just my little critique, and not that I'm a professional running a professional podcast over here, because it's the Hub Girl Network over here. But she needs to control her interviews. I think that she definitely was giving TS Madison way too much control over her interview. I felt like that probably would have slowed some of the language down. And she should have controlled the going off about Khia. Like she went off about Khia for about 20 minutes again. And I think Nene was saying like, well, don't let the stuff bother you. But I feel like she should have just stopped her and just changed the subject. That's my opinion. You guys can let me know what you think in the comments. But I just felt like she should have just kind of controlled all of that. And then, like I stated, the language even got more ridiculous because she was like, "Oh, okay, I can come over here and just do it how I want to do it on Nene's podcast," and I just felt like, she Maddie know better because she, like I stated, already have a channel, several channels, and have been doing this for a long time. So yeah, I don't know. That's just my opinion. I feel like she needs to control the interviews. Um, I mean, I didn't really necessarily feel that way about her other interviews. I'm just speaking, if you're gonna have people like Maddie on there that have this type of mouth, to where they just say anything, you do have to keep a level of control in that because people like myself don't want to hear all that stuff. You know, um, and it is what it is. I could have turned it off, and wouldn't have felt nothing about it. Turning it off. So don't even come over here telling me I could have turned it off. Yeah, you're right. I could have, because I just felt like it was too much and it was unnecessary. The language that she was using, and then the constant battle. And like Michelle was saying, and people in Michelle's conversation, that maybe Nene should have Khia on there as well, even though Michelle was saying that other people, other YouTubers have invited Khia on their platform and she will not go. And that's why one of the things that TS Madison says about Khia, I do agree with, that she is self sabotaging. Because if you're going to try to be in any industry, even in at this YouTube level, um, you have to be people friendly. Is that what I'm looking for? Like, I don't understand how you're trying to be in any industry, whether it's the music industry, podcasting, whatever it is that she is over there doing on her website. Because I think in that clip, she was saying that she's basically on her website. Because I know I don't see her on YouTube anymore. I don't see her videos at all, or anybody else talking about it, because she's probably only on the website with her diehard people that are following her over there. And so you have to be able to communicate with people. And even if you don't necessarily like them, you should be able to handle yourself in a professional manner. And I just don't get that about Khia. She definitely comes off self-sabotaging in that way, because she probably could be a lot further herself if she wasn't so anti all the time. And I understand things have happened to her. People have used her, and she may feel, like she has to keep her guard up. I get that, but I still think that you have to understand that you do need other people to keep making the moves that you want to make. Otherwise, you're just gonna be stuck in wherever it is. And yeah, people can say what's for me is for me. Got it, but you got to do some type of work, you know what I'm saying, to get whatever it is that you're after. And that's just all what I mean by that. I'm not saying she have to talk to Tasha K, or she have to talk to these other people, um but it probably would help her to be a little more active in her movement. I do agree with TS Madison about that. Sorry. um but all that other stuff, all that other craziness, and and her calling the LGBT people, telling them not to work with Kaya, I don't agree with that, because what if Black women were to do the same thing? What if we had that attitude, like, hey, as Black women, if you coming for us, you coming for any one of us, we not messing with you, right? Just imagine if we were walking around like that, with that attitude towards people, right? Because at the end of the day, a lot of women have helped T.S. Madison, whether she chooses to acknowledge that or not. Even Kaya, the fact that Kaya was over there and teaming up with her, um, it it definitely helped her name to get in a lot of other places that she would not have got into as fast as she got into them, right? Because regardless of you guys, people want to try and come at Khia about the one hit or whatever you're trying to say with that, even though I like some of her other music. Um, she's still an artist. She still have done some things and have been in certain circles. And so people know who she is, whether you like it or not. Like, you know, and it's not like it's no whole bunch of badass talent running around out here today, okay? So, um, yeah, people still know her. Um, so, I don't know. I get that she's coming at her just to come at her, but yeah, I just don't like the backbiting where you going to people telling people not to work with people. I think that's doing too much. And like I said, I tend to believe Khia because either that person said that to her or they did not. And she could always call since she said that out loud, she could always call the the party promoter, right, to the bat. If if it comes down to that, because the person know if they said it or not. But yeah, I wasn't particularly. I didn't really like that interview with Nene. I felt like, what is going on with this? Let me know what y'all thought in the comments. I guess, did I cover everything? Because I was like, yeah, she needs to control her interviews, honey. That wasn't, yeah. And I get it. You want people to feel like they want to come on your show too. And just imagine if everybody start coming on Nene's show and they going on there doing all that foul talking and stuff. Like, yeah, no, you need to get that under control. And I feel like maybe TS Madison was doing it on purpose or doing it intentionally because she kind of know how the YouTube thing work. Um, and Nene knows, but she may not care right now, or maybe she really don't know. I don't know because Michelle was saying that Khia didn't know that she could have. She was supposed, and I remember it was something about that. Like they were on both of their platforms, or so I don't forget how it was going. But I know Khia was already on YouTube. I don't know why she. I guess she wasn't getting paid because of her language. Um, so maybe because she never signed up for monetization, she just didn't really understand it. But yeah, she should have been able to go to TS Madison and say, "Hey, I'm going to be coming over here." And we've seen this happen with other YouTube platforms as well. So I guess I shouldn't be surprised. I guess I'm a little surprised because of that Khia is a celebrity. And, she's still a celebrity at the end of the day. You would think that she would just have people around her that's a little more um, versus everything that's going on out here. Because this stuff is changing constantly, right? Like they said, all this stuff, we're gonna look up and everything's gonna flip to AI in a minute. So, and some people already are running their channels with AI voices and AI images, and so all this stuff is gonna constantly keep changing. You have to stay on top of this stuff. I don't know, but I just feel like she should have known that she could have been getting paid, or she could have been asking for X amount of money from whatever she was making out those videos, either 50%, 40, whatever. Because I can't remember now if they were on TS Madison's platform or if they were on both of their platforms. Now they could have said, "Look, let's just like kind of how Shannon Sharp and what's his name over there, Cinco." Um, just go in half, right? Let's create our own. Let's take some of the ratings that you're getting from your other channel, bring them over here, get the numbers up on this one, and let's just split the proceed. Let's split the money, right? They could have done it that way, created their own channel, Queen's Court, and done it that way. So I don't really know what was she sitting down. Maybe she just trusted, and that's the thing. Like you can't trust people you don't know like that to really. It's just the way of the world. At the end of the day, it's sad, yes, but you can't place that much trust in T.S. Madison, even if you feel like you should have been able to do that. You should have been looking or having somebody look into all of that yourself. Oh, I'm gonna have to get off of here because it looks like Um, but y'all get what I'm saying. Let me know in the comments if you get what I'm saying about that. Like, she should have been looking into that herself. And I also feel like it's stuff that she should have just known. Or maybe she didn't think it was going to do as well as it turned out. And maybe that's why she wasn't worried about the money, right? But yeah, I mean, she was already on YouTube. She should have known, to me, that it was monetized. And so she should have known to, even on her own, just ask, well, look, let's go in half. Let's create our own channel. And that way we're both coming in fresh on, I'm not taking nothing from whatever you thinking you already got coming in. We could just start a fresh channel, right? But let me know what y'all think about all of the whole Khia and TS Madison. I guess every blue moon they're gonna have these. Oh, that was the other thing that. Let me see if I can do this really quick. Where she was talking about TS Madison's, was saying that Khia called her, and like I was stating, Michelle was playing Khia's response to her going off on the 30-minute rant, and she stated that she did call her and that she unblocked her and went on and made the phone call because she wanted to let her know, yep, I said it. I was in the show. During the show, I said what I spoke on what I feel like you were doing on the back end. And so I guess they got into, and you could hear them get into the argument. So I guess Khia was live when she called her to let people know, like, yep, I said it about her and I'm about to call her and tell her. Because Khia was like, she took her wig off and made the call. And so you could hear them going back and forth kind of in the background. So T.S. Madison was bringing it up to Nene that Khia had reached out to her 10 years later. It's still, too bad that they couldn't get it together. But yeah, you have to present yourself as someone trustworthy. And then you have to do your own research too. You can't just rely on somebody that you're working with to really keep you in on what's going on, because that's just how people are. But let me know what y'all think about the whole conversation, if you agree with me or if you're not. If not, what did you think about Nene's interview with T.S. Madison? What do you think about T.S. Madison constantly saying to her community, though, that they should be working with people that talk about them? Because I feel like she needs to drop that, because if Black women started saying stuff like that, people would not like it, right? And all hell would break loose. Um, and so she should look at that the same way, to me. Like, you shouldn't even be out here telling nobody who to work with. And that's just how I feel about it. But you guys can let me know what y'all think in the comments about the whole situation. And Michelle's people telling her that Nene's not her friend because she had T.S. Madison over there. What do y'all think about that? I don't even know if Michelle and Nene honestly have a friendship anyway. Some stuff is just business at the end of the day. But if she's saying that she's your friend, it is what it is. But um, Michelle said she didn't really care that T.S. Madison was there as well. So I don't know. What do y'all think? Now she wish she cared if Funky Dineva if Funky Dineva show up over there. Oh, will she care about that? I will see you guys in the next video.